So, what am I going to do when my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 raised beds of alliums are out? Now these are going to be out probably July-ish time. Then I've got 5 empty beds. What we're going to put in there? Let me show you. I think it's all too easy to get caught up in what you're doing for the summer, your spring planting, your summer planting. But what about, we don't really want to think about autumn, winter now, but what about planning for autumn? And I think that's going to be a good use of the beds that I've got there. Otherwise, they're going to be sitting empty. It's going to be brassicas. Let's face it, brassicas have been a winner, and they're going to be fantastic if I sow them now and then look to harvest them sort of autumn time. So get a chance to come on, germinate, get potted on, do what I need to do with them, and by the time those alliums are out of the beds, they'll be ready to go in. Let me show you what I'm sowing. I've decided to sow. Right, we're in the wonky shed. So, a couple of cauliflowers. So this is all year round, which I've already got in at the moment. So that is just going to go in as well. That's number one. This one I haven't tried before, Romanesco, and yeah, that'll be interesting to grow. It's a cauliflower. And they've got the Savoy, just a normal Savoy cabbage. This is some more of the Primo Golden Acre. Going to get some of that in, cabbage. And this is red Calabos. I haven't tried this before. But Danny at Grapevine Garden swears by it. He said it's fantastic, so I'm going to give it a go. So there's 5 lots of seeds to sow. I'm going to sow those over the next few days, so they're going to be ready, get germinated, get pricked out, potted on, and by the time those alliums are out, they'll go straight in those beds. So in order to grow these brassica seedlings on, I'm going to need to get that cold frame sorted. Now that was one of the projects I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. The polytunnel is just going to be too hot for brassicas and any sort of seedlings really going forward. I'm not going to have the space because there's going to be tomatoes in there and there's going to be peppers. So I'm going to have a look at see what scrap wood I've got for the cold frame. I'm going to have to put something together, and also I'm going to use some pieces, salvage pieces from the greenhouse disaster. So yeah, I'm going to have a look at that today as well. And then talking about the greenhouse and tomatoes, well, polytunnel and tomatoes really now, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to get the tomatoes in today. Some are a little bit small. I've had a few problems with them. I'll show you in a little bit. But there's 5 of the Rio Grande are looking great, so they're definitely going to go in, and they're going to plan where the other ones are going to go in. Okay, let's go and have a look to see what scrap wood we can find. Okay, so I've just pulled out all the scrap wood and the bits of pieces from the greenhouse and polycarbonate, things like that. Not really got anything suitable, enough quantity of, to actually do something constructive there. So I'm either gonna buy some more wood and fittings, etc., to attach all this together, or it might even be more cost effective to buy a cheap, simple cold frame. I'll have a look at that later. But for now, let's get on with some stuff in that polytunnel. So I've pre-placed all these tomatoes. They're all indeterminate, so they're going to grow quite big. I've got some decent supports actually, so I'm going to get those in afterwards. But for now, I'm going to plant them up. I've already fertilised these beds when I prepared them, so there's basically it's topsoil, the normal soil underneath here. which I want them to get the roots down into and get into the moisture, which is the idea of planting them direct. And then there's mulched over a layer of a few layers of compost. And then I've put some bloodfish and bone and some chicken manure pellets in here as well. So, and obviously I'll feed these throughout the season once they start going. So I placed them out. Some of them are quite small, I'll show you in a little bit. But I've got all this side that you can see, and at the back of the polytunnel, it's free at the moment. On this side is the rest of my seedlings and bits and bobs, which is where the peppers are going to go. They're not quite there yet. We're going to dig a hole, put some water in, give them a good washing in, and plant them up. Let's do it. So they're in. I'm going to give them another good water in a second, but yes, we've got these, as you can see, are a lot bigger and a lot further on. These are Rio Grande. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super sauce. Yeah, I know it's small. These three are really small, but do you know what? I had such trouble with tomatoes this year and peppers. I thought, do you know what? They're probably going to be happier in the ground. So I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. These are slightly bigger. These are Big Mama. These three. There's a Cherokee Purple down here. Obviously, this shelf rack will be moved out of the way. Okay, let's give them another water. Now, have you got any plans for autumn crops? What are you going to do when your alliums finish? Leave me a comment below, see what everyone else is up to. Also, did you go to the Malvern show? Let me know. I had a great day yesterday, really was a fantastic day. It was the Sunday, it was the final day. Yeah, and it was, they had so many great exhibits there, and you had about 4 or 5 show gardens, which were great. I'll flash some photos up for you. And also there was a tropical dome, which was really, really good, actually. And they did it so well. Met up with Danny from the Grapevine Garden and Tony from Simplified Gardening. And then later on, Rue from Rue's Life and Jane from Jane's Growing Garden surprised me whilst I was in the queue for some food. And also I met Freddie from Freddie's Allotment. He's a new YouTuber. So, a good day was had by all. That's it. Tomatoes are in. My name's Will, you've been watching The Flying Gardener.